Midquels are the definition of sequels no one needed. They don't move the original.
What? Are you kidding me? You immediately start with midquels are things we don't need. That is not how you start a sentence. You need to start with something like, so we are talking about this. Remember, you did not even put a warning at the start of your video that it was your personal opinion, or if it was, you do not need to add. You do not need to add the fact that you hate midquels. If you hate midquels, or if you're bandwagoning off the hatred that other people give for midquels, don't talk about midquels. Talk about something you actually like. I'd like to hear your opinion, not somebody else's.
Nor do they act as exposition for anything that happened in the original.
Come on, we're a team, right? Want to shake on it? Shake on it.
Midquels can be good if they serve a purpose, but it seems that the only purpose for this movie is to annoy us.
What specifically is annoying? I'd like to hear. By the way, one of the dogs looks like... Is she wearing a Jessica Rabbit wig?
But we could do without performances from the Singin' Strays.
You see, Todd, relationships and show business, they just don't...
Excuse me, can you please tell me why apparently it's a bad thing? Why do you hate these characters? Can you please give me your feelings on these characters? Why do you hate them specifically? Maybe you only hate one of them, maybe you only hate two of them, maybe you only hate three of them, maybe you only hate four.
Reba McEntire as a singing dog? Yes. Everything else? No, thank you.
Okay, please be specific. Okay, you like Reba McEntire, I got that. Why do you hate everything else? Please be more specific. Maybe there's something else you like. Like, seriously, be more specific when you're complaining about something. Even I'm specific when I'm complaining about something. When I'm talking about your video, I'm specifically talking about the fact you are talking about somebody's popular opinion and not your own. Your video and the rest of your channel is very unoriginal, and I do not like that. There are some things I like. I do enjoy your format. Just add a warning that it's your opinion, that you're copying from somebody else's, and that you are trash.
It's no wonder Disney thought a sequel would be a good idea.
Who'd have thought, huh?
But they were so wrong.
I've got a proposition.
Actually, making a sequel of a lot of films is a great idea. Think of it. Shrek 2 was a great idea for a sequel. You could obviously continue the story, but you could also end it.
0% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is less than groovy. And if anything, should convince Disney once and for all that if it ain't broke, don't make a sequel to it.
So when you think of our brief time together...
If it ain't broke, don't make a sequel to it. That is a terrible line. So you're saying that popular movies like... say, the Bee Movie don't deserve to have sequels. I would love to see a sequel to that film. I liked it, but it was okay, and it's just an overrated meme. Seriously, more like the Meme Movie. Oh, yeah!
Number 7. The Little Mermaid. Ariel's Beginning.
I love this film. Why do I like it specifically? The villain, Marina Del Rey. There's a singer called Lana Del Rey, but who cares about her? I mean... You can care about her, but I'm just saying, my sarcastic humor, so yeah, you might expect me to say something like that, how ironic. But yeah, I'm being a very nice and sophisticated person in this video. I'm trying to explain the good qualities and the bad aspects of this video. What do I think about this film? It's great, it's kind of a masterpiece, gives a good explanation for, King Triton, and... Thank you for telling me about, Ariel's mom and why, she died and before the events of the first movie. I love this movie.
Considering the original often involved the red-headed mermaid bursting into song, it makes sense that the young Ariel would have a major problem with this.
Don't get cute with me. This is serious. Where were you?
One thing I liked about the film is that they make Ariel's sisters, they give them a lot of character and personality. I like how it focuses on them sometimes. That is what I like to see in a prequel, midquel, or sequel, or even a spin-off movie. Add more character to those who remained slightly shallow in their first appearance. That's what I like to see in a character. Expand on their personality slightly, and if you can't, Wait until maybe you can make comics that focus on them, or TV shows or movies.
There's nothing wrong with the story itself, but
Of course, it's so great! I love the story to death! This is probably one of my favorite Disney movies of all time! Seriously, wait for my top 10. That's gonna be amazing.
music was what made the original so good in the first place. So honestly, was a prequel really necessary? Not really.
Actually, a prequel would be necessary. I thought it was a great film. It was amazing, and also, why didn't you show footage of Maria Del Rey? She's one of the best movie villains ever. And also one of the best villains in general, going along with Lord Shen and Buzz and Delete. Oh, come on. She's a classic villain of the Disney people, genre, whatever. It's a great prequel that explains everything. Every Disney fan needs to see it. Even the hardcore ones.
And don't get us started on that shipwreck of a sequel about Ariel's offspring.
Why was that bad? Can you give me a reason? Maybe you can talk to me about why you hated the film.
But when she finally arrives in the new world, she is bullied into acting civilized and is eventually rescued by John Smith. She doesn't even get to fight her own battles.
It's John Smith! I thought he was dead!
I'm the ghost of John Smith.
To be honest, I understand what you mean. That you're concerned for a lack of female empowerment. But at the same time, it's not really a bad thing if females don't get to fight. I mean, it's a Disney movie. We don't want to be violent here, kiddies.
Mulan 2. Something wrong? The original Mulan was perfect in almost every way. So why didn't they just leave well enough alone? Yes, it was never clear whether Mulan and Shang would actually end up together, so it's nice to get that confirmation. But
here's the thing. A lot of people speculated that Shang Li could be homosexual, due to him seeming to have a platonic attraction to Mulan. But this time they confirmed it with the sequel. To be honest, maybe we did not need a Mulan sequel. I thought it was a very boring movie. That's it.
And Yao, Ling, and Qian Po marry the Emperor's 3 daughters. Seriously.
And there's no one.
Why is that a bad thing? Wouldn't that be a great thing to marry royalty? What's your concern for that? I thought it was an amazing subplot to save me from not watching the film. That's how boring it was. It was so boring, I did not pay attention to the screen. And I was watching it on a gigantic TV screen. That is how boring it was. But hey, I still paid a little attention.
And most importantly, although the voice actor who replaced Eddie Murphy did a decent job at imitating him, it just isn't the same Mushu without Murphy.
Is that really your concern? He sounds identical to Donkey from Shrek and the first film, Mulan. But seriously, that's your concern? You really want Eddie Murphy back that bad?
Sure, at first we enjoy seeing Cinderella take on princess duties in her own unique way. But then things veer off course as we watch as Jacques the Mouse gets turned into a human, and one of the evil stepsisters, Anastasia, falls in love with a lowly baker.
Now, early in the video, I mentioned that giving recurring and minor characters their own spot in a movie or such is a great idea. Now, I do not want to repeat that statement, but I'm just saying. You can give Anastasia and Jacques their own roles, maybe give them their own, short films or something. I like how this movie, it's very great. It does a good job at showing the lives of these characters who are very underrated. Anastasia, she just started out as a secondary villain with her sister. I like how they gave her her own story, which I think is amazing, and it gives me major vibes of my comic series, which you can find at my Tumblr account, Emma the Cartoon Girl, in case you weren't aware. So yeah.
Normally we'd say that if you're gonna release a sequel 52 years after a classic, at least stick to what worked best the first time, which in this case was the emphasis on Cinderella.
And why do they have to keep the
That was, I guess you're sort of right. Yeah, you can emphasize the main character, not too much. See, there are other characters in the movie, such as Jacques and Gus, the two mice. I mean, maybe Gus could have his own short in the movie, but whatever. All the characters get equal amounts of attention, which I believe is perfect. This movie is really great, to be honest.
However, Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, focused on Anastasia, and was actually a decent Disney sequel. On the other hand, even if...
How ironic. Wow, that was really hypocritical. You just said that a subplot involving Anastasia falling in love with the baker was a terrible idea, but then you said that the third movie was a good idea. Well, yes, the third movie is great too. I don't understand why you're hating on a subplot I actually liked. Yes, I did enjoy the two subplots. They're great.
Look at that lamppost.
He don't care.
Don't go changing, trying to please me. You never let me down before.